A vibrant gathering place for our diverse community, some are avoiding going to work. It continues to get worse as these loyal vendors are forced to stay away out of fear of losing their livelihood. For some, it's the only way they feed their families. To see everyone hurt like this is heartbreaking. Last night at our city council meeting, we heard from our residents. Their anger, their fear, and their uncertainty about the future is understandable. Not only did we hear it last night, myself and members of the City Council witnessed the devastation firsthand that Saturday morning. We share the same anger, sadness, and trauma. Then to see the presence of the National Guard in our city, it only makes things worse and leads to unnecessary escalation. We can and will do better to serve and advocate for our immigrant population. I want to speak directly to the people of Paramount. We see you, we hear you, and we are with you. We acted last night and directed staff to create a special fund that will financially help our immigrant families affected during this challenging time. And it doesn't stop there. The City Council and staff are working tirelessly to develop other means of support and assistance, doing more to support our community. We will also be seeking out our residents who have been directly impacted so that we may hear from them and provide direct support. Paramount is resilient. We've been through challenges before, and we will rise together. We are also grateful for the regional collaboration that's happening right now. We cannot face this alone. This is a moment for cities to stand united, regardless of our boundaries, because when one community is hurting, we all feel it. To our neighboring cities, to the county, to the state agency, and to Mayor Bass, thank you for extending a hand to our residents. Your support means the world. And next we have Arturo Flores, Mayor Arturo Flores from Huntington Park.
Thank you so much, Mayor Lemons, for those remarks. Good morning. My name is Arturo Flores. I am the mayor of the beautiful city of Huntington Park. I myself am a combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I've served in the theaters of Iraq and Afghanistan in defense of this country and in defense of the Constitution of the United States. Militarization of immigration enforcement has no place in our neighborhoods. And the deployment of Marines on U.S. soil is an alarming escalation that undermines the values of democracy. As mayors across this region, we stand united in rejecting fear-based tactics that target immigrant communities and erode public trust. Let me say that one more time. We stand against these fear-based tactics that target immigrant communities and erode public trust. We call on federal leaders to uphold civil rights and end the militarization of enforcement and to pursue humane, community-centered solutions. Our communities are not battlegrounds. Deploying military forces and conducting militarized ICE raids in immigrant neighborhoods is not about public safety. It is about political theater that is rooted in fear. It threatens families, traumatizes children, and corrodes the foundational trust between local government and the people that we serve. I stand shoulder to shoulder with Mayor Bass and with my fellow leaders and fellow mayors here, and any leader who values justice over intimidation. We will protect our residents, we will speak out against unconstitutional actions, and we will continue to build cities where all people, regardless of immigration status, can live without fear. I understand that the deployment of 700 Marines out of 29 Palms, and I believe the unit is 27, have been deployed to the Los Angeles area. I have a message for those Marines who are probably watching. Brothers, I myself have fought in different theaters I fought wars. And I will tell you this, the people that you are here who have been called foreigners are not foreigners. These are Americans. And when we lifted our hands and we swore the oath to defend the Constitution and to defend this country, that oath was to the American people. It was not to a dictator. It was not to a tyrant. It was not to a president. It was to the American people. And the people that are here in these communities, in the city of LA, and the cities that you'll hear from, are Americans. Whether they have a document or they don't, you're dealing with Americans. So please remember that. If you're ever put in a situation or asked to do something, remember, you are dealing with Americans. With that being said, up next I'll introduce Mayor Judith Merlot from the city of Vernon. Sí, en español, mi nombre es Arturo Flores, yo soy el alcalde de la ciudad de Huntington Park. Estoy aquí hoy yo como veterano de los Estados Unidos de la Marina para decirle al público que lo que está pasando no está bien. Yo he peleado en guerras y yo tengo un mensaje para los marines, los 700 marines que están aquí en Los Ángeles hoy en día. Que las personas que ellos van a ver, que ellos van a estar en Los Ángeles, no son personas que son de un diferente país, no son personas que son terroristas. Estos son personas que son americanos. Entonces nosotros como una comunidad tenemos que elevar nuestra voz y decir que este tipo de injusticia no se vale. Y el mensaje es que las personas que están aquí en Los Ángeles son americanos. Con papeles o sin papeles somos americanos porque creemos en el sueño americano. Después quiero introducir al alcalde Judith Merlot de la ciudad de Vernon. Gracias.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mayor, for having us. As Mayor of the City of Vernon, I want to reaffirm our city's unwavering commitment to the safety, dignity, and well-being of individuals, regardless of immigration status. I'm here today to stand in solidarity with Mayor Bass and the other local elected officials facing immigration raids and military presence in their cities. These recent events have been stressful and upsetting for many. In many challenging times, I want to reassure you, the people of Los Angeles, Southeast Los Angeles, and throughout the region, that we are your public servants, your neighbors, and your active partners, striving to maintain safe and inclusive communities. Thank you. I am now going to present Mayor Maria Davila from Southgate.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Bass, for uniting all the mayors of the city of LA and the surrounding cities. As a mayor of the city of Southgate, I'm at home with everything that is going on and how ICE is scaring our communities. Just as we were on our way over here, we were notified that they were raiding the city of Southgate, and that's unacceptable. Because you're targeting communities, you're targeting residents where children are living, where they reside. And this is unacceptable. It is hard for us as elected officials to hear that a person who is representing us up in the federal level is capable of doing such a horrendous, just unbelievable things to our constituents and to our people. We understand, that we have to uphold the law, but at the same time, we need to understand that we have families who are scared. We have residents who are scared. We have parents. We have children. Now our children are out of school. And what are they going to do? Are they going to be kept at home just because, the raids are continuing here in our communities? That's unacceptable. We need to continue being united and let Washington, D.C. understand that this is a community of immigrants. We are all immigrants. I am an immigrant myself. I came to the United States, and I and working for our community. The current action of ICE treats immigrants as criminals. We are not criminals. We are hardworking people. We came to the United States to work, to better our families. The humanizing and targeting people who often threat, Southgate stands with our surrounding cities and to all our community, the people of the city of Southgate, I'm talking to you. You are not alone. We are here with you, and we are going to be helping and also making sure that everyone is safe. So with that, I am going to be calling up Mayor from Ventura, Jeanette Sanchez Palacio.
Thank you. Good afternoon or good morning still, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mayor Bass, for inviting us. Thank you to all the mayors who are here throughout California. And while you may see many of us, there are many more who are not here, who could not be here with us today, but who support this effort in being united together. We are outraged and heartbroken by the recent and ongoing ICE activities targeting immigrant families in our community. These actions are not only inhumane, but they are also an affront to the values we uphold in Ventura, but also throughout the state of California. The city in Ventura in our region is an agricultural region. They are sustained by labor, resilience, and cultural richness of immigrant communities. And when our workforce lives are in fear, the fields will go unharvested. The impact is felt not only at the local level, but it will also be felt at the national level. Everything will be affected, and every American who is here and relies on the labor of these individuals will also be affected. These same individuals are also the community who held up the large portion of essential workforce while we were in the pandemic. These are the very workers who kept the state running, who kept our families fed, and who kept our lives safe. But most importantly, let's not forget that these people are also human. At the basic level, they are our friends, they are our family, and they are our loved ones. And as elected officials representing various cities across the state, we have come here together to condemn the separation of immigrant families. No one deserves to live in fear, simply for seeking a better life or for seeking a better life for themselves or their loved ones. And so we call for a swift and coordinated action by our federal officials to put an end to these destructive practices and instead focus on a comprehensive immigration reform. We call on our fellow elected leaders to raise their voices with courage and to center humanity in every decision they make. Ahora en español. Soy la alcaldesa Janet Sánchez Palacios de la ciudad de Ventura. Y estamos aquí junto a la alcaldesa Mayor Bass. Gracias por invitarnos, también con otros representantes de diferentes ciudades del estado de California. Para nosotros es importante enseñar la solidaridad que tenemos juntos, no importa de qué ciudad o de qué área estemos. Estas redadas que ICE ha estado haciendo es simplemente para intimidar a nuestra comunidad, que durante la pandemia fueron los que estuvieron trabajando fuerte allá. Ellos fueron los que ayudaron a este estado a sobresalir la pandemia y ahora están siendo directamente afectados y atacados por esta administración. Lo que necesitamos es una reforma comprensiva de inmigración. Y aunque tenemos muchos funcionarios aquí presentes, hay muchos más que no pudieron estar aquí que también apoyan esta unión de solidaridad. Hacemos un llamado de acción rápida y coordinada a los funcionarios federales para que pongan fin a estas prácticas destructivas y en lugar se enfoquen en pólizas basadas en la compasión, la justicia, y la dignidad humana. Y llamamos a nuestros colegas, líderes electos, que también alcen su voz, actúen con valentía y que pongan la humanidad en el centro de cada decisión. Ahora se lo regreso al alcalde Bass. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone that spoke. Let me just say that of the leaders that are standing here, whether a raid took place in your city or not, it's the sense of fear that is spread when these raids take place. And I think everybody here knows that maybe today it was the city of Los Angeles, tomorrow it's one of your cities. When this type of chaotic behavior from Washington, D.C. is forced upon a city, upon all of our cities, then again the fear and the terror that is in our populations is profound and very traumatizing. I've asked the mayors and other leaders that didn't have an opportunity to speak if they would come up and introduce themselves and the position that they hold within their city. So we would ask that maybe we could start here.
Thank you, Mayor Bass. My name is Lorraine Avila Moore, council member from the city of Linwood, and I support Mayor Bass and all my colleagues behind me. We stand together united, and we will continue to fight this immigration raid. Thank you.
Buenos días, soy Pedro Chavez, el alcalde de la ciudad de Santa Paula. My name is Pedro Chavez, and I represent the people, the hardworking people of Santa Paula.
Muy buenos días a todos. Me llamo Jorge Chávez. Soy el alcalde de la ciudad de Bell Gardens. My name is Jorge Chávez. I am the mayor of the great city of Bell Gardens out in southeast Los Angeles. Jorge, Jorgel. Thank you so much.
Mario Trujillo, the city of Downey. ICE was in my city this morning. They raided the Home Depot, the LA Fitness, and I understand they arrested an elderly man in front of Our Lady of Perpetual Help, a place of worship. He was dropping off his granddaughter at OPH school. Our job as elected officials is public safety. We would submit to you that these raids at Home Depots, restaurants, places of worship, or schools are not keeping our community safe. They are creating havoc and fear. This is not the way to provide public safety to the community. We're calling on the administration to change course and do their job correctly. Thank you. Soy Mario Trujillo, alcalde anticipado y current council member de la ciudad. Nuestro trabajo como personas elegidas es protección. Lo que la gente quiere de nosotros como los elegidos es protección de su familia y sus casas. Lo que está haciendo el gobierno federal no está probando esa protección. Arrestando gente en Home Depot, en los restaurantes, en las escuelas, en las graduaciones, en fiestas, no nos está manteniendo más seguro, nos está afectando negativamente en lo económico. Esto no es una manera de ser un líder. Estamos llamando a la administración que corrija su punto de vista. No lo están haciendo bien, que hagan su trabajo bien. Gracias.
No. Hold on. So we're going to go through, we're going to ask the mayors to introduce themselves, their name and their city, and if there has been a raid there. Any follow-up, we will give you the contact information, but we want everybody to have an opportunity to speak before you open up for questions.
My name is Gil Hurtado, council member of the city of Southgate. Soy Gil Hurtado, concejal de la ciudad de Southgate. Y nomás quería agregar que aunque físicamente ahora estuvieron en Southgate, psicológicamente han estado ahí desde el principio. What I was just saying in Spanish was that although ICE had not been in our community physically until this morning, psychologically they've been in our community ever since this whole mess started. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Lara. I'm a council member with the city of Pico Rivera. I'm California native. My ancestors were baptized at Mission San Juan Capistrano in 1807. So we are a group of people who know what it's like to be illegal in our own land. The very first thing that California did when they became a state in 1850 was pass a law that allowed the enslavement of California natives. So I stand in solidarity with my colleagues behind me, and I denounce the fear that is taking place in our communities. And I thank Mayor Bass for your leadership. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Alberto Méndez, soy de la ciudad de Fillmore. Hello, my name is Albert Mendez, I'm with the city of Fillmore, and I stand in solidarity with Mayor Bass and my fellow mayors. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Sal Melendez, Mayor for the City of Montebello. And I just want to echo what one of my colleagues said from Southgate. Physically, ICE has not been in the City of Montebello, but psychologically they're there. Our community is in fear. Our community is afraid to go out. And I want to thank Mayor Bass for putting this together. And I stand in solidarity with all of my colleagues in the region. Thank you.
Good morning, Jessica Ancona, Mayor for the City of El Monte. Buenos días, Jessica Ancona, Alcaldesa para la Ciudad del Monte. Although we haven't had ICE raids in the City of El Monte as of Friday, back in February, we did have a raid or a family detained, the brother and mother of a young woman who was battling cancer. Their primary caregiver of the young lady was taken, as well as the brother. And at that time, I mobilized resources to get them representation on behalf of Congressman Gil Cisneros. I reached out to the Attorney General's office to provide them as much support as we could. So I'm here standing with all of my colleagues, mayors, council members, local officials, and thank you, Mayor Bass, for having us. Coming together, standing united in denouncing what is going on. We want the National Guard out of our region. We want the military out of our region. They have no business here. And we also want ICE out of our cities. We need to keep our families safe. And I stand united here with all of my colleagues. Thank you.
Hello, Chelsea Byers, proud mayor for the city of West Hollywood, a proud sanctuary city since the time of our founding 40 years ago. In early February, my community experienced homemade signs with the logo for the Department of Homeland Security and the phone number for the ICE hotline all throughout our entertainment district. We've been living in anticipation and fear of what is happening right now, and I'm proud to be here standing in solidarity with mayors behind me and from across the country who are standing firmly against the destruction and disruption happening to our local communities. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Melissa Ramoso, council member and former mayor for the city of Artesia. I'm here today in solidarity with all the elected officials here. I am so proud that Mayor Bass has taken the stance and has gathered us here. We're living in a time that we have never seen. Last night, I had a young leader in my city text me and said, council member, like, we're scared. What do we do? And then I said, let's meet. And so right after this press conference, I'm meeting with her and other young leaders. And as a daughter of veterans, union leaders, former union members, it is critical time that people who look like me are supporting people who look like my Latino brothers and sisters here. It's going to happen to the AA and HBI community. It's going to happen to everywhere, to all the ethnicities. So I implore all of the other leaders to stand up and stand together in solidarity with all of us today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Cynthia Gonzalez. I'm the Vice Mayor for the City of Cudahy, the Cela region, and although the raids haven't happened in our small city, they are happening in Southeast Los Angeles pretty heavily, and we stand united. And I also want to speak to Americans, especially to those who have allowed our community to be the scapegoat of this administration, that made you feel that your American dream hasn't happened because of us. I have a doctorate degree. All of us here are successful, and we are educated with our community behind us, documented or not. Undocumented people, the communities that we represent where I grew up, they did not interfere at all with my ability to be successful or achieve the American dream. If at all they helped feed us, they helped take care of my daughter when I needed babysitting and I couldn't have family members do it. There are neighbors. We don't ask our neighbors whether they have documentation or not. We are all united and we are all here. And if you should have anger, it should be for the gutting of Medicaid, it should be for the gutting of your Social Security, and it should be for corporate greed, because that is who they're after. And they're using our brown bodies to avoid the conversation that this administration is a failure and they do not know how to legislate.
Good afternoon. My name is Lana Negrete. I'm the mayor of the city of Santa Monica. Although we have not had raids, we have seen vehicles. It has created fear as a community who is still recovering. I'm a small business owner myself from COVID and the impacts to our local economy, and then the fires. We are seeing restaurants close, car washes shut down, and our local economy suffer. So my only message is that if this administration is concerned about economy, we are the fourth strongest. This is impacting the small business owners in a huge way, and I urge our community to try to stay together and calm the anxieties. Today we have graduates crossing the stage. This should not overshadow their opportunity as they launch into our community as young adults. And so my message to Santa Monica and everybody around is that we are here as local leaders. We are trying to provide as much transparency. If I know anything from the fires, it's consistent communication and collaboration, togetherness. So standing here today, we are sending a sign, and there's many that are not here, that we stand together. We are working together to share information to quell the anxiety in our community as much as we can. So thank you for having us here.
Few more.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brenda Olmos. I'm the vice mayor from this beautiful city of Paramount. On Saturday morning, myself, along with Assemblymember Solache, we were gassed and we were hit with the rubber pellets or whatever they were shooting at us. I'm asking you, please listen to me. Stop terrorizing our residents. You need to stop these raids. We were at a council meeting last night where members of our community were crying to us. And Mayor, we need help. We need direction. With all of our great city council members, we need help and guidance on what we could do for our residents. But I'm asking you, please stop the raids. This has to stop now. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Doug Halter, Deputy Mayor of the City of Ventura, and this is absolutely unconscionable what's going on. I had never thought in my life that I would be seeing this sort of disruption and this sort of terrorism attack on our citizens, on our community, on our residents, our friends, our family, our neighbors, our workers, our employers. Everything that impacts one part of our community impacts all of us. And to see this coming from our own country, the country that I was raised by my Italian grandparents to love and be so proud of, and to see this happen, it's just unconscionable. This has got to stop. We've been asking for comprehensive immigration reform for at least 30 years. Now, if he really wants to be a hero, get on it and get it done. And leave our people alone, because we will fight and we defend them. They're part of our community. They will always be a part of our community. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Councilmember Velma Cuellar Stallings. Buenos días. Yo soy la Councilmember de la Ciudad de Paramount. Señora Vilma Cuellar Stallings, first of all, thank you, Mayor Bass, for having this. And on behalf of Paramount, I just want you to tell all of you that we're standing together. And together, we're going to get this done. Please, please, Paramount, know that we're here for you. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Leticia López y estoy con la ciudad de City of Vernon. My name is Leticia López and I'm here with City of Vernon as a council member, and I stand in solidarity with my elected officials and Mayor Bass. Thank you for bringing us together.
I think, okay.
Good morning, buenos días. My name is Crystal Larios. I am with the Vernon City Council. Mi nombre es Crystal Larios. Estoy con el Consejo Municipal de la Ciudad de Vernon. I am a proud daughter of immigrants. Soy una hija de padres inmigrantes. Muy orgullosamente. Estoy con ustedes. I stand with you. And I pledge all my support to the elected staff and everyone and doing everything we can to help.
Thank you, thank you. We'll open it up for questions now, and let me just say that we will provide everyone's contact information up here because we only have a few minutes for questions, but we want you to have complete access. Yes, are you going to?
Do you have any comments from the rate today that happens today in the morning in the city of Downey?
I'm sorry, do I have what?
Do you have any comments about, or do you have any reports about the rates that happened today in the morning in the city of Downey?
Oh, no, but I think that the mayor from Downey did address that and can address that a little later.
I know yesterday you spoke about trying to contact President Trump. Were you able to make any contact at all with him?
I have actually a call in the next few minutes, not with him, but to get that call set up.
And what were you telling him?
Well, yeah, that I want to speak to the president and that I want him to understand the significance of what is happening here. You know, there are reports that if all of the military that have been designated to be deployed, if you add them all up, it's more military than are serving today in Iraq. And the money that is being spent, $130 million, all of our cities could use that money.
I was hoping you could speak to the fact that some people have described what's going on as rioting, whether you agree or disagree with that terminology. If you disagree with it, I was hoping you could confirm that no one is being booked under Penal Code 404, which is the rioting penal code.
I have not heard that. I've not heard of anybody being booked under that. You know, we established a curfew last night, and there were over 100 arrests, but they weren't for looting. They weren't for vandalism. They were for failure to disperse, as well as a curfew violation. So what I'm hoping is that people got the message that we're serious, and we won't even have those arrests tonight.
And what do you think about the rioting terminology?
Well, let me just tell you that the picture that is attempted to being portrayed, and all of us are impacted by this. If you look at TV and you see people who are demonstrating, some inappropriately, some violently, which I believe that anybody that's involved in violence or looting or vandalism is not supporting the cause of immigrants. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing that because they know that that can trigger an even greater reaction from the administration. And so that is a picture you'd know in downtown Los Angeles because we are here. You know that this is isolated to several streets in downtown Los Angeles. The curfew that we put in place yesterday is about 6 square miles of a city that is 500 square miles. So the portrayal is that all of our cities are in chaos, rioting is happening everywhere, and it is a lie.
Clearly you don't want the National Guard or the Marines here, but...
They're not needed.
Yeah, but since they are here, is there any line of communication set up between your office or Chief McDonald's office and whoever is in charge of the Marines and National Guard? Is there a line of communication?
Okay, first of all, the last I talked to the chief, there was no line of communication with the Marines. The line of communication is with the federalized National Guard, and you know they have one mission here, and that is to protect one building downtown. They weren't needed for that then, they're not needed now. When we did the curfew last night, it was all local law enforcement.
Do you believe there should be a line of communication?
Absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, I don't think it should be happening at all. But yes, there should be a line of communication.
So U.S. Attorney Military did announce some charges today.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And he said, quote, when protesting crosses the line into violence, the penalties will be severe. He's talking about up to 10 years in prison for possessing Molotov cocktails. At the same time, you're the president who on day one pardons the January 6th rioters. Is there a double standard there, and what do you think about it?
Well, I think you just illustrated the double standard. And given that I was there on January 6th and saw an insurrection take place, the idea that this, what is happening here, is an insurrection is just false. And I think it is deliberately false. I don't think they're confused.
We're going to come down here to the post and then Craig will back.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Madam Mayor, the protests are spreading from Los Angeles to other cities.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, what does that say about how the Trump administration is handling not only these protests, but their immigration policy?
Well, I mean, I think that the other cities recognize if the nation's second largest city and our region that has 88 cities in it and is larger than 40 states, that's LA County, if it can happen here, then what does that say about states whose population doesn't even match the population of our county?
We're going to go to Craig, Josh, and then AP.
Good morning, Mayor. The curfew enforcement last night, you were live with me on KNX for some time. It was very late. It looked very much like it was successful in achieving its goals. I want to know what your take is on what unfolded last night, how it went, and then secondarily, is this curfew order going to be extended? You said first you review it today, potentially a few more days, and then you also I think indicated last night at KNX that you thought maybe it could end by the weekend.
Well, yes. So let me just say that the emergency declaration that I signed yesterday does not have a time limit to it. And so the curfews will go on as long as they are needed. But you know, it's really kind of interdependent on what the response is from the federal side. If there are raids that continue, if there are soldiers marching up and down our street, I would imagine that the curfew will continue. What I'm hoping is that Angelino's got the message last night that we are serious. The fact that the arrests last night were relatively minor, I am hoping that we won't have any arrests tonight.
You know, the order last night is expected?
Yes, it did.
We're going to go to Josh, AP, and then
Mayor, I know you've been asking the administration to stop the raids, but have you gotten any indication that the raids are going to stop?
No, as a matter of fact, I think all of us probably have the same, I mean, at this point in time, we're functioning on rumors. And so the latest rumor that I'm aware of is that it's going to last for 30 days, but I really do have to say it's a rumor. Has anybody heard anything different? Right, but you see the point, we don't know. And that uncertainty creates fear and terror in our people.
And I know you don't know what the Marines are going to do.
No, I do not.
Are you open to the idea of suggesting that maybe they assist the LAPD in enforcing the curfew?
Absolutely not. As one of our Marines who is up here, they are trained in warfare on foreign lands, not domestic. They cannot arrest. I don't know what role that they would play. And then just think about having the military here. When you see what's going on around here, if you drive a few blocks outside of downtown, you don't know that anything is happening in the city at all.
down AP, and then right here.
Yeah. Hi, can you just talk about the metrics that you're considering for lifting the curfew? You know, you said things generally went well last night. Do you see that again?
The metrics for lifting the curfew are twofold. Number one, a night where there's no arrest, okay? But number two, it's interdependent on what happens with the administration.
And then, you know, you describe these arrests as minor.
Minor meaning unlawful assembly and curfew.
Right. So not looting, not.
No, of course not.
But we did see, you know, police on horseback, police firing.
Right.
Projectiles that seemed peaceful demonstrators last night. So what do you say to people who see this as excessive force against people who are, you know, out on the streets protesting the same stuff that you're describing as unconscionable?
Well, what I do believe is that we need to evaluate what has happened. One thing about our cities is that there's cameras everywhere. So individuals might not have been arrested on the day they committed the crime. It doesn't mean they won't coming down the line. But there have been allegations, and we need to check into each one of those.
Down in front here, and then we'll go to Politico, and then
Max Adler, Bloomberg. Do you have any idea how much extra LAPD spending is accrued since Friday? How will that impact the fiscal year? Additionally, there have been reports that police hitting journalists and others.
Oh, yes.
Will the next budget include extra funding for police liabilities, which strain this country?
Right. Well, let me just tell you that I don't have any idea how much is being spent in overtime now. Again, unnecessary. Didn't need to happen in the first place. I am concerned about the budget impacts. You know, we had almost $1 billion deficit here, and so I'm concerned about that. But there's no way of knowing, and there's also no way of knowing when it's going to end.
I think that's a Politico here.
So you talked about how you don't really know when the raids are going to stop.
Right.
This is a signature policy of the Trump administration, do you have any indication that this is a realistic ask of them to stop the raids? And if that doesn't happen, like, what is Plan B?
Well, let me just tell you that the alternative is to stay silent. And to me, I am going to continue to advocate on a federal level and look at the breadth and power that is represented here. You have over 30 leaders of cities, 30 cities joining together to talk about how this is impacting all of us. You know that in a year the World Cup is going to be here? 8 games. All of our cities are going to be involved in the World Cup. I know the president is excited about the World Cup and wants to be supportive of the World Cup. The best way to support the World Cup? In the raids, and frankly, share some of that financial support that you're giving unnecessarily to the military.
And do you have any plans if that doesn't happen?
If it does, that the raids don't end,
right.
If they, no, I mean, we are stuck in this no man's land of not having any idea when the policy will end.
We're going to Sean, and then we'll check with
Hi, Sean.
Back to the approach to the protests, and there's some pretty clear tonal differences between the way California leaders have been talking about these protests versus the ones in 2020 during the pandemic. And I'm wondering, sort of politically speaking, what would you say the biggest lesson is that you took from 2020 and the subsequent backlash?
Well, in all fairness, in 2020 I was in Congress and I was doing police reform on a national level, so I spent most of my time visiting other cities, so I can't comment about 2020 here.
Question in the back.
Sorry.
Right here.
I was just wondering if you could quantify the impact the raids that continue going with culturally, financially, emotionally to the city.
We are trying to quantify that now, and I would invite the other mayors that have experienced raids, if they have quantified it now. But looking at police overtime, looking at the vandalism that took place in the downtown area and other areas, there was also, the looting that took place on one night, or maybe it was 2 nights. All of that is going to be a cost. But, to me, it is also the human cost, the cost of these families being divided, for kids not knowing where their parents are, for kids and families being afraid to go to graduations. I had talked to a friend that went to the grocery store, and the shelves were empty. Why? Because the immigrant labor didn't come to work. And this is an issue whether you are legal or not. You have people going to the immigration office for their annual check-ins that they're supposed to do with papers and going in and getting detained along with their families. So, I think the cost has to be looked at comprehensively, not just to vandalism and police overtime, but the human cost to the disruption of these families.
Can I follow up on that though? Like, there's shows out there in the news like the LA Opera, the Fiddle, and theaters that are having to be canceled, restaurants are having to close early. Is there going to be any way for them to recoup some of the money that they're losing?
Well, let me just say that the shows and all of that, I have not heard of one, but they are going to be accommodated. So the law enforcement knows that this is a major entertainment center and that, shows are going to take place. So that will be accommodated.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
And mayors here are also available for
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Very welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
there's a super wide need for